Bush bashing seems to be the big thing. The Democrats sure spent the last few years doing it. You know, pretty much from '04 to now, they wanted to bash to get in and then bash to stay in. MSNBC, Keith Olbermann, you name them. People have been beyond disrespectful, outrageous, and inaccurate as all get out. You know, they're still free to run their mouths, aren't they? We had terrorism way before this administration got in, and then the prior administration cut the national defense budget. And I have watched, you know, that President Bush inherited this big 9/11 and all the other things, and he and Vice President Cheney have not been given any credit by the liberal lefty media and the Democrats for having broken their necks trying to keep us safe. And haven't been given credit for a lot of other things. You know, the market is not necessarily to blame, or the president is not necessarily to blame for what happens in the market. That pretty much happens by the Congress. And since the Congress was asleep at the wheel, especially Barney Frank and Chris Dodd and the whole Fannie Mae Freddie Mac thing, the Democrats let that slide because they wanted cheap housing, but they didn't catch the big stuff. I mean, 2 months before an election, the whole thing drops, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, let's see. It's kind of like a lot more going on than any of us has been told, but the terrorism is concerning me because when President Bush took over and had this happen, he had to do the 9/11 Commission and all the other things that many, many people worked on, and we were brought together. But those terrorists, a bunch of them had driver's licenses, they had the right to vote. They were in this country way before President Bush took office. So I'm asking the question, why would the Democratic Party want to reduce the FISA, reduce the Patriot Act, reduce the defense budget? I heard Barney Frank say that. Why is he still in office? Why isn't he investigated for the mess with Fannie? Why didn't he call that out sooner? Maybe a lot of people's retirements could have been saved. How many terrorists are slooping around our country right now with licenses and fake voting ability and you know, how much cyber fraud is happening to our financial system, to our country? How many terrorists are maybe doing little things, fires here, this, there? You know, what is going on that we're not aware of, that we're worried about Gitmo people getting out? Gitmo, about 50 of those people, according to Dick Morris's book Fleeced, have already gone out and fought and maybe even killed some of our soldiers. Why are we wanting to neuter our military, insult our nation, insult our administration, show no respect for a sitting president? I mean, is the next one want the same lack of respect that this one got? This is all bad for our national security. And I'm thinking, everybody got this all wrong. You've insulted the wrong president about national security and terror, and you're not watching. You don't have your eyes open, and I think there's a whole lot sneaking by the front door and in the back door that we don't know about, and I think we better wake up and quit cutting our national security. We better pay better attention and get this partisan garbage out of here and protect the country. That's what I'm thinking. Kudos to the current administration.